About 4 weeks ago, I cut back my existing kikuyu lawn and I overseeded some ryegrass, with the goal being to have a nice cool season lawn throughout the cooler months out here. And so far, it's doing it really well. I've gotten some rotary mower cuts on it, and today I'm going to be switching to the cylinder mower. So we're going to get that done, get some stripes on here, and also talk more broadly about making the switch to a cylinder mower and maybe helping you make some decisions about choosing whether you might want to dive into cylinder mowing. So, long intro, but let's get into it. Yes, g'day and welcome to a new video on this gloomy, it's just been the worst last week in Victoria. It's been, drizzly, cloudy, cold, crap. Soil temperature dropping, so get your granular fertilizers out, but last one for the season. But yeah, it's been awful. But today, it's gonna be a good day because we're getting the cylinder mower back onto the backyard. We've got really nice coverage. We've got really good ryegrass and some kikuyu coming back through there as well. And it's just gonna make a real nice lawn for winter. I'm really, really keen for it. It's looking great. And so in terms of switching back to the cylinder mower, tick number one is coverage. So you want really good coverage in your lawn. You don't want bare patches, and if you've top dressed with sand and things like that, you don't want to be picking up soil and sand into the reel. You want nice lawn coverage, and that's what we've got. So step one is ticked there. And the other thing is this lawn is beautiful and level. So I put the call out there on Instagram to say, what are your questions about transitioning to a cylinder mower? And it's something lots of people wanted to know. How flat does your lawn actually have to be? If you've got a crazy bumpy lawn that's just divots everywhere, cylinder mowing is going to be really tough. It's going to be frustrating, it's going to be difficult, it's not going to look good. You think with bumps, any bumps in your lawn. Boys, school holidays, hey? With any bumpy lawn, your high spots end up getting cut at 10 mil and your low spots end up getting cut at 70 mil. And yeah, it's just difficult to mow, particularly with the cylinder. Your reel getting caught on humps and bumps and things like that, just not ideal. So in terms of how much leveling you actually have to do, this lawn was not awful, but pretty bumpy when we moved in. One big heavy top dress, and then I was using my cylinder mower, cutting at 20 or 22 mil, something like that. So if you want to cut tall, up in that 20 to 25 bracket, one heavy top dress on your lawn, level out your main humps and bumps, and it's not going to be perfect. 3, 4, 5 top dress is what you need to get your lawn like really sizzling in the level category. But yeah, that one big heavy top dress should get you a lot of the way. Now your lawn type is pretty important as well. So the three sort of main lawn types that people will have is kikuyu, cooch and buffalo. So this is an existing kikuyu lawn, and I think kikuyu is a pretty good hybrid that you can rotary mow it, you can cylinder mow it, and it can look good both ways. Buffalo built a lot more for rotary mowing. I cut mine at 60 mil. I like it nice and tall and lush. You can cylinder mow it, people definitely do, but just with the broadleaf and that sort of thing on it, it's a little bit harder to do, and it's definitely a grass that likes the rotary mower a lot more. Hybrid cooches like iron cutter on my front lawn, those are built a lot more for low heights of cut and cylinder mowing. So you can definitely rotary cut them, but a cylinder for your cooch lawn is definitely going to be the best way to go to get the best finish. And so cooch, if you want to cut it 10 to 15 mil, nice and low, that is the most ideal grass type from those three. Kikuyu, a bit more of a hybrid. You could get it down to 12 or so, but I find a bit happier more so towards 15, and I tend to cut mine 20 to 25 just to maximize the length of the leaf to roll it over and get some nice stripes. If you want to cylinder cut your buffalo, you definitely can have a crack at certain times of the year cutting it at 10 or 12 and have a laugh and see how you go. But if you are going to cylinder cut it, staying up at 25 to 30 is going to be a lot better sort of range to stick to. It's a bit more achievable for that type of grass. A couple of other things to be aware of as well is that the lower you cut your lawn, the more often you're going to actually have to get out there and mow, and also the more inputs that your lawn is probably going to need. The lower you cut, you might need a bit of extra watering, you might have hot spots that show up a little bit sooner. It's definitely staying up at a longer, taller cut, whatever that may be in your situation, definitely lead to less input requirements for your lawn. And so in terms of types of mowers, and just have a quick look at this without being full anatomy of a cylinder mower, but you've got your cutting reel here, you've got your bed knife down underneath, you've got your rollers, and it's those rollers that roll the grass over and give that striping effect, but it's just getting a nice scissor-like cut between that reel and that bed knife that we love with the cylinder mower. But in terms of types of mowers, this here is a Mowmaster HC26, and as far as cylinder mowers go, this is pretty top notch. This is a really good brand, really durable, and comes, you know, with that sort of price tag. There are plenty of other options in the market too. If you are buying something brand new, you're looking in around the $2,000 to $2,500 kind of mark to start off with. You can also get little battery cylinder mowers for a couple $100, I think. So never actually tried one, but I'd love to one day. But there are different options, and you definitely want to get the right one that suits the size of your yard. So if you do have 30 square meters or something like that, you can get little 14-inch cylinder mowers that'll be perfect for that. For me, on this wide open backyard, 26, probably could get away with 28 or 30-inch, to be honest, but 26 is really solid. But yeah, no doubt, like anything, you get something secondhand, but yeah, it's definitely more of a financial commitment up front, and then probably ongoing as well, to getting a cylinder mower. But if you love the hobby, you want those stripes, you want that clean cut, that's what you're looking at. We'll talk a bit more about heights of cut and a few other bits and pieces after we get a mow on this neck. So careful. There you go, have to be happy with that result. So just to have stripes back on here again, nice uniform green lawn throughout after going through that scrappy phase, and that, yeah, for that last month. It's definitely exciting seeing baby grass grow, but yeah, to get back to stripes again is fantastic. And now the key for me, and this is mowing in general, not just cylinder mowers, but 2-3 times a week, consistent cutting. To be honest, today I probably should have rotary cut it first because it was a little bit long, so it just makes it harder for the cylinder when your lawn is extra long to get a good clean cut on it. But either way, I'll come through again. I've got some nice diamonds here, but because that leaf has been stood over one direction, I'm going to come back in a couple of days and cut it the other way just to really tidy it up. And probably in a week or so is when I'll start putting some nice patterns and stuff in here as that baby seed just continues to thicken up and look really nice. But in terms of the cylinder mowing there, something that people are concerned about in thinking about cylinder mowing is the maintenance and the backlapping and that sort of thing. So backlapping, it's not, to be honest, an extremely time-consuming process. Once you get efficient at it, you probably take you 5 to 10 minutes. Really, I should be doing it more frequently, and it depends on the size of your lawn. I think don't necessarily go by doing it every 4 or 6 weeks. It's more so probably how many square meters you're covering. If I was only covering 200 square meters of lawn, I could probably do it every 8 weeks, but because this is 470 and the front's 135, probably need to do it a bit more frequently because the reel is actually spending more time cutting, if that makes sense. But yeah, your first backlap, you might need a couple of extra tools. It might take you, you know, half an hour on that first time to get it right and then get it cutting properly, but you'll get really efficient at it. And the other thing is, which I sort of alluded to before, it's just the general maintenance of your lawn. There's probably no real point of investing in a cylinder mower if you're never going to fertilize and you're not going to really take care of your weeds and all that sort of stuff. So at a minimum, you're really committing to wetting agent and granular fertilizer sort of program, making sure your lawn has got water, so whether that's tap timers, whether it's an irrigation system, or putting in the work to come out in the mornings throughout spring, summer, whenever your dry periods are, to turn the taps on and to water your lawn. Generally, if you want the best results, and especially if you want to cut lower, a liquid program as well. So you are committing to putting not just money into the mower, but the actual maintenance of your lawn ongoing too, and the water bill. But if you love it, it's definitely worth it. And that was one of the final questions that came up a few times on Instagram and has over the years as well, is it actually worth getting a cylinder mower? And honestly, if you love your lawn, then yes, absolutely. It's the cost and all that sort of thing. Obviously, it's something to be considered, but yeah, depending on other hobbies you have and all that sort of stuff, like a lot of people have hobbies, and so maybe you pour thousands into golf, maybe you pour thousands into fishing, maybe you put money into looking after your lawn. It's up to you. Yeah, really looking forward to the next 4 or so months enjoying this rye lawn throughout the cooler months. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mentioned before, been really cold weather here in Victoria, so get your granular fertilizer out, your last one, before it cools down as soon as you can. Start thinking about pigment applications as well, so that's going to be future content I'll have going up on here to make sure that we can keep that grass as green as possible throughout winter. We're very fortunate in pretty much all of Australia to be able to do that with the right care. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. So hopefully we see some bloody sun here soon as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, in any case, pretty happy with this rye. I'm looking forward to it over the cooler months. So yeah, thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.